So welcome on in. Let's talk about it that way. How about that? How about it? How about we get live, we get active, and we get visible to the public? So welcome in. Let's get it going. A special and most notable Happy Father's Day. If we haven't gave you everything you need, let's give you a bit of the recap, if you will, on our Father's Day salute and special edition. Because let's face it, guys, we don't have an entire monologue of things to report on, but we do have some things that I want to get uh, done firsthand. I want to make sure that I get them done. So give me a minute as I get my wonderful cords and everything from under the kid, because we got to figure out postal game who is going to deliver today. So if you will, as I pull up my visual aids to help me figure out exactly how we're going to get this done, I want us to reflect on who would fit into these categories, who would be the person that we want to acknowledge as a finalist, potential winner, so on and so forth. And while we are doing just that, I would appreciate if we could hit the like button, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. If you are new to the channel, get active. I do need those fingers to be moving in the chat. Say hello, weigh your votes, give your opinion, because this itself is an award show and it gives us the opportunity to hand out awards. I don't want to give them out myself without the vote of you, and we need you to deliver that vote firsthand. So feel free at any given time when we go through these to let me know exactly what we got going on. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and like I said, I need you to go ahead and do that for us, because if you have already been here, you know the vibes. If you are new, I want you to get a better feel for the vibes and be able to recommend and push more Bear fans towards the channel. Still a small channel, trying to grow, trying to get things going. But most important, I guess we'll go ahead and get into it. And what I got is what I like to call the Prove It Power Rankings. Okay? And so, for the Prove It Power Rankings, we're going to see who has the most to prove in 2026. Now, for 2026, the Prove It Power Rankings, I think that we should put 5 candidates on the board. So before I give out any suggestions, if anybody has 5 potential candidates that should go on the Prove It board, let me know. It is important that we get maximum, what do you call, participation on this particular. T Miles, what's going on with you, bro? We out here trying to give out the Posty Awards by the end of the day, and we're gonna have the Prove It Power Rankings going right now. These 5 players are gonna be the guys that we think have the most to prove when it comes to what's going on out here. And W. Cryer, thank you for joining the Postal Game. Let me go ahead and see if we can get this survey going for us the right way. T Miles, welcome in. How you feeling, bro? Happy Father's Day to you, man, if you are. We gotta get it cracking over here. And we're gonna have our top 5 for the Prove It Power Rankings. These are the people that we think collectively they need to step their game up and do the most to prove that they're gonna get their keep this year. I got a couple guys that I already have penciled in as candidates. The reasons why we can get into, but I think that we should be able to go ahead and understand that we set expectations for people throughout the course of the year, at the beginning of it, no less. And I want to be able to kind of not rank, because all 53 will factor into the importance of the year. But these 5 are going to give us the most opportunity to dictate success, I believe. Because if they are the hits that we believe they should be, then it gives us the opportunity to go ahead and put together the season, and I think we will. And if they are not those guys, I think it causes not a certainty that things will fail, but it does cause us to have a bit of a what's a larger mountain to climb per se. So T Miles got Caleb, Austin, Booker, JJ, Sweat, and Rome. Interesting power ranking. Interesting 5. Let me see. And you just threw a wrench in the way in which I go about this, because it's not necessarily built into something I would have thought about right there. Because instantly, and I see you got on your list like Jalen Johnson, and that'd be like, okay, I understand totally. We got the understanding that. I guess the biggest question would be, can he return to all pro form? What we've seen, I guess, if you say like at his best is all pro Jalen, number 1 or 2, and that version of Jalen is elite in my estimation, or at least, if not the most, one of the elite corners in the league. But the last couple years, if you will, and I understand we'll give a little bit of a mulligan because of the Eberflus years to figure out that once you are losing, the checkout may be there. But the business decisions and things like that have been made. And I want to know that coupled along with the injuries that were had last year, along with some people's speculation, because it's not mine, but others, as I've alluded to in my last video about Jalen, did speak to contract concerns being something for him. And I don't believe that the contract is in any way, shape, or form an issue. But last year was not an elite version of him. So the fair question is to be like, what version are we getting of him? Much like you spoke about Caleb. Last year, fourth quarter, Caleb was about as close to perfect as a quarterback could be in terms of doing everything needed to get his team into a winning position, and oftentimes to win. But the inconsistencies of not having that happen for the first majority of the first 3 quarters is something that he's alluded to, the notion of him drowning with the information. And at the same time, I believe he said around week 11 against the Vikings is when he finally got a grasp of the offense. So I can say that Ben said their best football will be played in December and January. Around week 11, he was starting to learn the offense or master it in a way that said he was not sinking anymore, but he's doing the swimming version of himself, which was getting better. So now, put it all together, be able to execute all throughout, and like Caleb, like your father, throughout the course of your life, always showed up not just in the end, but from the beginning to the end. Can you do that? And shout out to Black Couch. Happy Father's Day to yourself as well, sir. And you kind of look at those things. Rome, injury, expectation last year, the laser fast start, the drops. Let's see how we can best quantify it. The thought that he would be the ultimate number 1, along with it being a question of him being number 2 now, is something that is a bit, I don't want to say alarming, but it is concerning in the fact that we thought this would be the year where he was the unquestioned number 1 and figuring things out. Because, not like Jalen, or unlike Jalen, where the window is about to close if he is not back to the guy who he was. Rome, in some ways, third year, new second year wide receiver people go crazy about, which I think in the Prove It power rankings, he would be one of those guys that falls into that power ranking simply because there's many expectations of him. And if we have that expectation of him so much, he needs to be held to a Prove It standard. But I don't know that I can necessarily remove him from the list. Now, there go my cuz. I would venture to say, T. Miles, that as opposed to a Montez Sweat, who I think last year had his second double-digit sack year. Oh, we got to go through everything right now. Right now, we're going to prove it power rankings, cuz. And as we progress, we got a couple other things that we're going to talk about. I guess the best interest of myself is to tell you to hang around and be able to see those things. But I hope that hubby got, the nice day going on. Mother Mike, happy Father's Day to you, man. Mike, we are going through how we are going to acquire the first annual Postman Awards right now. And we're going to give you a recap, everybody. So this is basically what we're trying to figure out, Mike. Everybody, if you can. Before we get there, let's go ahead and officially, like Mike said, happy Father's Day to everybody that is a father in the chat. And everybody who celebrates the fathers in a deserved manner. I want you to take your appropriate seat on the couch next to my buddy Al Bundy. I want you to go right ahead, pop your brew, get your dude, and go ahead and sit back with your boy and enjoy this, what we got going on. And the question for us, Mike, this is what we want to know about Bears players, and we're going to get to the specific Bears players in a moment because we want to do it together as a chat. Who delivers, Mike? Who will be the people that gives us what we want when it comes to the provings of the world? You know, when you talk about a guy like a Tyreek Stevenson, he got a different pressure on him because I believe that there is a rookie that is possibly on the precipice of being able to contest and take his spot. I don't want to say discipline, but lack of focus has been an issue for him. So the prove it pressure on him is, I think, more internal to the locker room, because I don't think it's about taking the next returning to form per se. It's taking the next step in his mental maturities, if you will. Can he become a true starting cornerback in the league, or is he just a really good number two in moments that don't matter? You see what I'm saying? And right, you just said it. Can I trust you in moments that matter when I think they went out and got your replacement? Who knows? But we got people on the prove it list. Mike, if you could name your 5 people that you think, or even if you don't got 5, name the people that you think should be on the prove it list right now. We're going to try to come up with our top 5 people for the prove it list. We're going to put a poll out and see exactly who we think should be on the prove it list. And we can talk about why. Because T. Miles put a couple good names in the chat already. And that's how we got to the power rankings of the whole prove it. Because we need to go ahead and get some results on what we think as fans about how people need to go about the next level. Because I came up with 5 names. Me and T. Miles got one different name, and I agree that quite possibly Caleb does need to put his name on my prove it list for the reasons that I spoke about. But I didn't think about it in the context of that particular. So yes, a good addition if we could to the finalists for prove it and who should prove it and why they need to prove it. So we'll try to get into it that way right there. If you got any suggestions about who needs to be on the prove it list, Caleb, Jalen. So both of those two guys are on the prove it list. So I see we starting to agree here. Like I said, we already got Jalen Johnson, and we talked about him being able to return to All-Pro form. The fact of the matter is, if he does not look closer to the guy that was there in year 2 of Eberflus, he will be less likely to be a guy that is on the roster. We already talked about not being able to trust Stevenson, and suffice it to say that every week, or every year, I should say, they're going to look to have competition or people that could possibly replace guys, especially for a particular, what do you call, price tag, injury. And that's so I just put a video out about Jalen Johnson. Everybody go ahead and check that out, if you will. Some of the same types of questions might be answered, or might not be, but might give us a little precursor as to what we might expect. Who knows? Salute to you, Top Pro. Happy Father's Day to you as well, big bro, little bros, and all the bros alike. Like coming from an unk and a papa these days. And see, for me, agree to disagree, aka Mike. This is exactly how we come up with that. That was the question that we had, and my question more so for him is not can he take the next step to elite status within Band's offense, because I believe personally that, as I alluded to earlier, week 11 was when he actually understood and began to swim in the offense and wasn't stagnant. I think this was the moment in which he became fluent in speaking being. His offseason has mirrored the coach like in a symbiotic way that I've not seen quarterback and coach for our particular franchise. And so I believe that this year, the week 11 understanding needs to take the next step to execution, because I believe that he understands it, and I need you to execute consistently. Meaning, and that might be exactly what you're talking about. So I could be, just summarizing or giving context to what you already summarized. But will he be able to take that, the proverbial next step? Which, ironically enough, shameless plug, we made a video about those particular questions to see if we can get some things answered, because it does lend itself to, or a better question as to how far or how much more dangerous can the offense be if a guy like Caleb is able to take that next step. And if we don't think about a guy like Tariq Stevenson as being a guy that you can trust, should he be on the prove it list? Like, for example, we'll go through. T. Miles, I believe, said Caleb, Austin Booker, JJ, Sweat, and Rome. You got Caleb and Jalen. And for my list to start, Jalen, Tariq, Caleb, Braxton, and Rome Odunze. Now, he got Logan Jones and Montez Sweat. Okay. I'm very interested, and I think that we got 2 votes for Sweaty. So Sweat gonna be a replacement on my list. For whom? I guess Jalen will remain. Obviously, Caleb will remain. Rome will remain. As we got a unanimous. So then it leaves us to right now. Montez is leading as being a candidate. And he says Logan Jones. I like the Logan Jones take, and that I think that if he proves some things up front, it gives us a lot more flexibility and wiggle room to do other things. But I don't know that as a rookie, it is necessarily incumbent upon him to have to prove anything unless he is thrust into the starting lineup. But I think I see the angle for Logan Jones. So I guess what we're gonna have to do is make a bit of a poll over here, and we'll get this poll going just to see if we can come up with our fifth candidate, and then we'll try to rank them. We'll start a poll. Who has most proved? I just noticed something real crazy. Who's your last one, T Miles? Let me see your last one. He had Booker. And Garrett is a stopgap center, but in that instance, Mike, let's work in the optimistic world. And let's say that Garrett holds off the rookie in camp and he actually performs well this season. Would Garrett, I mean, what do you call it? Would Logan be a good choice for this list this year if, in fact, he doesn't get the opportunity to prove that he is the center for the next 10 years? So that's my only skepticism with that because, yes, I do believe that he can take the starting job this year, but if we work under the pretense that he doesn't, is he on the list to prove it this year? But the poll's going to tell us who we want. If we have a tie, I will be the tiebreaker because I can't vote, obviously. And thank you, Juice Drops, for going ahead. And also do that for the Agree to Disagree pod. If you did not do so, Juice, thank you for helping me out being a mod. If somebody got a podcast, and so can I assume then, Mike, that in your scenario, he beats out Bradbury in camp? Because I can ride that train, and it's not a crazy one. Because I'm definitely interested in seeing if there can be opportunity for us. And matter of fact, let me get y'all a little bit of music and a little music. Let me know if it's too loud for you in there. Let me see. Do I want to listen to it with y'all? Let me see. There's some good stuff for me. Y'all can see we are gonna put the merch on for you, baby. We gotta get that merch out here. Yeah. Okay. So, Mike, we agree. I actually think in some regards he does have a chance to beat him out in camp. Um, but I believe that it might coincide with him starting alongside the trade window per se, just to make sure that he's fully ready. You know what I mean? So I think that just to give a little conspiracy theory right there, we can go about it that way. And I know that everybody's not a Bear fan in the chat. Ty Pro, Lions fan. But if anybody can, so I don't have to be the tiebreaker. One of these players is going on our Prove It power rankings. If we go ahead and make the vote as to who it should be. so that I can what do you call it? I can go ahead and close the poll and figure out exactly who needs to. Because I think I got a bias right now, and I don't want to have to have it. Latanya, did we catch any other fish, Latanya? Any more besides the first one that you told me about? And we also, anybody who is an outdoors person loves to get into the reeling, do some fishing, doing some good vibes. Go ahead and support. Make sure you post her link as well. Tanya Phillips Fishing, something that you need to relax with sometimes, people. But I'm trying to get a vote on the last person. I see a 50%, a 50-50 right now. Okay. And if I don't see a vote for one of the three players I believe that I put out, I'm going to have to make a vote myself. So if we could, got a few more minutes. Oh, give them catfish. Give them perch. Go ahead, Posty, and rep the merch. Sell it to your 15th or the 1st. This off prompt, off script, this ain't rehearsed. Got no verses, and we can't rap. But give applause to your boy, slow clap. It's for all the pappies, all the daddies, all the pops. We in this boy to tell you all, yes, you all rock. Don't stop, check it out. Like to go fishing. We about to get the cocoa butter out. It's quite glistening and no, I can't rap y'all, but we try. Don't worry about it. We'll get back to the show. We'll get back to the show. My apologies. We got two people on, and let me look at the poll because it appears to be up, and we got enough to end the poll. Logan Jones has made his way out there out of the 4 votes. And we're gonna get it together. See, Juice, if you was ever on Twitch, I got invited to come to karaoke. And karaoke ain't about no fake raps. And yes, we ain't nobody singer. A little bit. We're gonna be able to go have fun like we used to. Pass the peas like we used to do out there. But with that being said, we have apparently come up with our everybody we needed. Let me see some. Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Don't tell, don't tell me. If the defensive line is not doing too good at trading deadline, do I think the Bears make a trade? Juice, I'll let you know in the Discord. I can't know right now. I forgot. I haven't read my invite, but I know it's from my homeboy. He sent me a text. Um, the defensive line is not. So I could see a scenario in which a trade would be something they want to do, but are they able to do it? Is what I would want to know. Like, meaning with who? Who would allow them to make trades with them? I don't know anybody specifically, and nor do I think we will need to do anything at the deadline. Let me preface it by saying that, fan, welcome in, fan. Happy Father's Day. Hope we are already subscribed, but look, I don't believe that we will have to make any trades at the deadline or make any hasty signings because I am in the camp that one, Austin Booker will again progress in his 3rd year now after he progressed last year already after missing, I believe, 5 games last year. Um, Health was a problem because he got hurt in the preseason. That's stymies kind of what you're trying to do in terms of your progression. So I believe instantly that he is better already. Jamar Turner is the person who, if you ask me, would have the most to prove on this list. And that was my honorable mention because I didn't know how most people would receive it. But he has the most to prove to me on the team because you have not played uh, at length. And they, in my estimation, went drafting anybody in the, as far as a particular player or position, only because they didn't see the player that they wanted particularly, so they felt comfortable knowing that they had you in the fold. And so you, Shamar Turner, have to be as on target as the other second round players of last year and the seventh round player because the other ones hit and they had the best ranked draft class because of those players, not because of Shamar Turner. So if Shamar is able to do anything that he was drafted to do, and one of those things is to stay healthy, along with the ascension of Austin Booker, I don't need leaps and bounds of progress from Adeo, but I do need the alleged motivated Deo to be able to come back this year and contribute. I don't need exponential numbers. I need noticeable contribution. And I'm the person who will tell you that one, Jamar Turner was switched to defensive end last year. He doesn't play defensive tackle. Second, Austin Booker plays edge opposite Montez. He doesn't sub in for him. So you will have those players, both of them, there to help Sweat make an impact. This is not a one for one affair. I believe we have a stockade of players because in their scenario, in my estimation, we go for a constant rotation of players on both sides to kind of hit you with their best shot, be functional enough to understand the offense, and have somebody because and they have to believe this that either Booker or Turner is impactful enough on the edge where you can keep it fresh for the edges to be out there doing a thing along with the rest of the defensive tackles. When you talk about Street, Gallimore, um, Grady Jarrett, what's the one of the newest guys they got out there, Vandenbergs and the likes. They got waves of players that I believe they want to throw at you, and I don't believe that it's just one player that they want to have. And I say that because, and I hate to use loose and recency bias when I use these loose associations, but Seattle didn't have all of these 10-sack people to make this impact. They had a lot of 8-sack guys that did their job, and I believe that the Bears have enough of those 8, 7.5 to 9-sack type guys, as opposed to this instant. You gotta watch him for Montez to make a difference because I do believe that Montez. No, but we do have the personnel for that. We don't know that to be true only because of the guys I mentioned. I don't know how Kentavious Street and Gallimore and Vandenberg and even Shamar Turner or Dexter in your last contract year where you're trying to get some money somewhere else. I don't know how all those guys. I don't know their names. Just like I couldn't tell you all the names of the Seattle guys. Um, and so I do believe that they have acquired the depth to wear you down by committee. I don't think that they have the big hitters. The names ain't there. We don't got the names at all. So that's why I think that they went out and got so many guys to, kind of chip away at you, if you will. And that still doesn't account for a guy like a Jaden Loving that I think will have an impact overall on what's going on for him. Made a video about him. I mean, it's players that I believe not, and I hate to put so much of a pressure on it, but we do have other things to talk about when we get to it. So, in the interest of, I will say that let's narrow it down and say that Caleb and I wish I had thought about it earlier to put the names here. Caleb, Jalen Johnson, um, Logan Jones. Did we vote on anybody else that I missed besides Rome and what's our last one? Because I'm already absent-minded. Maybe I need to be writing some ish down if I'm gonna forget stuff like that. Let me get over here and get to writing. Cause this don't make no sense. Don't mind me. Rome, Caleb, Jalen, Montez, Logan Jones. So now that we got those 5 players, and all years, there we go. How would we rank these guys? We're gonna have our top 5 for power rankings. Those are the 5 people we got. We got 6 people, but we're gonna rank the 5. So we're gonna go in order here. Who is of the names we listed there? And I go through the names again: Rome, Caleb, Jalen Johnson, Montez Sweat, Logan Jones, Tariq Stevenson. Those are 6 names. We're gonna come up with our top 5. Who is the least worrisome of that group? Who do you think has the least to prove? Although he has to prove something, he has the least amount of something to prove. We'll document that and move to the next segment. Let me know in the chat. Who do we think is? And I think we already there. In the interest of time, once we get those responses out, we're gonna move straight on to it right there. So Caleb is number 5. Number 4. Now we got Rome, Jalen, Montez, Tyreek, and Montez. Somebody gonna be the honorable mention uh of the least importance. And it might come down to Caleb. Who knows? I think Caleb is our honorable mention per se. And we'll move it a because I can see I can see maybe a Montez being next on the list for me. Thank you. Thank you. All right. There we go. So on the actual list, I think and you know what? Ben Johnson told you last year you got the best version of Montez. And why did he say that? Because Montez uh is not typically a 10 sack guy. And last year you got 10 and a half sacks out of Montez. Twice in his career. The year we traded for him. Yeah, we got Jones on the list. Yeah. Caleb gonna be our honorable mention as it stands right now. Montez is next, and then we got Jalen, Rome, Logan Jones, and Tariq. T. Miles probably back there having a sandwich somewhere, having a sandwich. A little bit of Logan, a little bit of Logan in his life. I could take that as being a 4. Now next for me it's gonna be it's gonna be Jalen or Tyreek next for me. One of these cornerbacks is gonna be next. Actually, both of them gonna be next. It's just the order in which they're gonna go. I might I might have to amend that to say that Tariq probably fits the mold for me next, if you ask me. Only because the next, I think Rome and Jalen have more importance to the team moving forward. If we to be honest about anything, so we're gonna go there for me, and if we will, let me see. I might already have one here. I'm gonna have to give y'all a brief screensaver image. Or I don't. We gonna add in some names live time. Now that's gonna disjoint the image, so I'd much rather give us a screensaver for the beneficial purposes of the stream. See a little bit of that. So I can go ahead and fix these names for you and show you who we got. So I think number 5 on the list, we got Montez. My apologies. Sweat. We got that sweat going. There we go. Montez. We got to get this aligned out here for you because we got to get it right. Mm, 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 mm. And who we got? Logan next. That's right. It's gonna look real nice for you when we get back there, y'all. It's gonna look real nice, very nice. How much? It's gonna look for you. That's how it's gonna look. Number 3 for us is going to be Stevenson. Mm, mm. Now next, guys, it's gonna be tough for me. Who do we got going as our number 2 of importance? Will it be Jalen Johnson or will it be Rome Odunze? Who is the second most important in the prove it rankings? Who's the second highest up when it comes to the guy that needs to prove it? Because when we get him, we got him. We on to the next segment. I can't wait. Because right now, we head to tails. So, in the chat, give me a head to tails. I'm going to flip a coin. And whoever land heads is Jalen, tails is Rome. Give me a call it in the air. Call it in the chat, I should say. Call it in the chat. Tails is Rome. Heads Jalen Johnson. Who we got? Not Sam Roush. Always a Steeler fan. We on tails. Roma Dunze is the person that's gonna win number 2. So number 2 person, Roma Dunze. Welcome in, G Honda. Mike, tell me if you ever saw somebody like G Honda that still don't know he blocked you from commenting on his terrible Steelers. He blocked me so I can't talk about his Steelers in this chat, man. Tell me how crazy that is. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Who we got? Oh, Jalen Johnson. Gosh darn it. And guys, there you have it. There we have it. Yeah, he crazy, man. He crazy, bro. Hey, it's what it is what it is, right, Latanya? He love the paradise. So, if we don't know, now we know, people. Those are the names. We got Caleb in the when we talk about the prove it rankings, and I don't know what I got going on out here. My bad. Sorry, y'all. Caleb in these power rankings is honorable mention. 5th in the prove it power rankings, Josh Sweat. Next, when it comes to the power rankings of the prove it section, Logan Jones rookie is number 4. Number 3 in importance when it comes to the prove it power rankings, Tyreek Stevenson. We go over to the offensive side of the ball where we send an all points bulletin to the hands of one Roma Dunze when we talk about number 2 and the person that might make or break the Bears season contingent upon his health. Cornerback, former All-Pro, Jalen Johnson, number 1 on this list, number 1 on his jersey. Can he do what is needed for him to do? And G Honda catching L's all this weekend. He catching these L's, baby. That's what he catching, y'all. And while he catching those, y'all, let's go ahead and make sure we hit that like button. We are rated and ranked everybody. We went through them all. Now that we talk about it, this is the interesting part to that. Let's say all of these players do actually prove it. You know what I mean? Like, if Jalen bounces back, if Rome is able to stay healthy and take that next leap into being a bona fide 1, if we can get Tariq to keep himself locked into the game, if Logan takes that next step and outright takes over the starting center job and proves that he is that guy for years to come, and if we can get a Montez to ever just be consistent and showing me last year at least in terms of production, because if your production is there, I think that the play of other people around you will allow you to have a better overall look when it comes to the play. And if those things happen, I want to know exactly what you guys in the chat think the Bears team on a whole would look like offense, defense. What do you think that helps us to look like? Because ultimately that's going to be the litmus test to how we perform for the year. And it's also going to bring us to our next delivery. And I say that, that hinges itself on none other than who will shock everybody. We got expectations of a lot of people. Some people we got too much expectation. Some people we don't got enough expectation about. You know what I mean? So that means it's going to be somebody that's properly hyped It's gonna be somebody that's, you know, uh special delivery because they there. We're gonna have a first class priority express if it's an underrated player. We're gonna have a return to send on those guys that, quite frankly, they just got too much shine and didn't deserve it. But like I said, a special delivery is gonna be a future star. We're gonna return to senders, those overhyped guys, and we're gonna talk about people um, that could fit this category. So when we talk about this category, it can be none other than mailbox sorting machine, baby. We got to go straight to the sorting machine because some people don't believe in getting it proper, getting it rated, getting it graded the right way. But we have got to go ahead and get it done in that particular way right there. I will be there as soon as we wrap up. Appreciate it as we get locked in over here on sorting them out, getting them going for the return to sender or the overrated, underrated section of the stream. We got certain players we're going to talk about. I want to know if you think those players are overrated, properly rated, or underrated when we speak on special delivery. We're going to see how many Bear fans we got in the chat because they seem to be celebrating Father's Day out in these streets. Not worried about it. Need it all. Mm. And there we go. So as we talk about it, G Hagler. G Hagler. Let's talk about this, G Hagler. Um, who do we think is a guy that might be overhyped, underhyped, or properly hyped? So we talk about a guy like Luther Burden III. The efficiency metrics, off the chart. Third last year, I believe. When we talk about routes per route run, he has translated in every way that he can right now into elite NFL level. And if he is to continue upon that trajectory, he can be the ultimate offensive weapon for Caleb. And I mean, like, immediately. So, what's the vote? If we had to talk about Luther Burden III, is he a special delivery? Is he a return to sender? What the hell was that? Or is he properly rated? Do we think he is first class male being properly rated? Do we think Luther Burden is a return to sender, meaning he is overrated? Or is he a special delivery, meaning we got him underrated? Let me know in the chat. FC, SD, or RT. Let me know what we got going on in the chat when we talk about Luther Burden the third. And I'll put a chat up. I'll put a poll up. It's Luther Burden special delivery. First class type of guy. Or is he a return to the sender? Maybe I got shy people in the chat and they don't, they ain't talkers out here. So we'll go with that. We'll go with the fact that maybe, just maybe, people shy and don't like to type because it might show a name. So Luther Burden the third. It's Luther Burden special delivery, a return to sender type package, or see first class mail out here? Let me know in the chat. We got to do things in the interest of what do you call consistency. But I do understand that this is a rather, I guess, and I'm happy to say, a rather busy and occupied time for most of my viewer when we talk about Father's Day. People are taking those fathers out, I hope. So, you can't be mad when people are out doing good by their dads. That's what I'm about. You got to do something good for them. Do something good for the daddies. And we're going to be okay out here. So let's see if we got good vote already. I put a poll out. We got people going right now. We got, so we got votes going on right now. Properly rated, underrated, overrated. Let me know in the chat right now in the poll. Luther Burden III, what will his future hold? We want to know. Y'all scanning them all as they come down the conveyor belt. Let me know which one of those letters is being mailed out to Luther Burden III. And again, everybody, happy Father's Day in the chat. Bear down, Mr. Franklin. Understand. If we have any ties, I will break ties in the interest of time today. And we got him going 3 different ways. So we got 3 votes. Everybody has a difference of opinion. Somebody says he's overrated. Somebody says he's underrated. Somebody says he's properly rated. I have to say, and be the deciding vote for Luther Burden. I will have to say this is tough for me. This is tough for me to look at Luther because it falls between 2. He's not underrated in any way, shape, or form. So either he's properly rated or he's overrated. So it's gonna have to be one of the 2. Juice, I don't know if you voted, but overrated or properly rated. I think he's gonna have to be properly rated, and this is why I think he's properly rated. If he was overrated, the coach wouldn't be bought in on his chicanery. And I think that the coach is so bought in when he said he buying Luther Burden's stock that I'm going to have to say that Luther is going to have to be, even though the poll is split, I'm the tiebreaker. We're going to say that Luther is first class. So, as usual, he first class, and let me give him his ranking as only I can. We're gonna get some Luther. Some never too much, never too much. Can't get that Luther on the envelope we sewing. I'm on Luther. Oh, that's the wrong Luther? My bad. Luther. Luther. Alrighty. Let's see. Maybe I got this right, y'all. Y'all gonna let me know if I didn't. I'm trying to find the right color, Jack. Because if it ain't the right color, y'all won't see the ish. And then what? What am I supposed to do? You might not see it no way. Loofah, loofah, big loofah, or little loofah. Roast beefing it up. I mean, which one do you prefer out here when we talk about it? Big Luther, little Luther. Now here we go, because I never forget. I always forget the important stuff. We got a little bit of burden on the first class being properly rated. Roast beef, welcome in. Happy Father's Day if you are, or if you support all those good fathers out there. We got our next person on the list. We are voting for a person that is properly rated in first class, a person that is return to sender package, meaning you are overrated, or a person that is a special delivery, meaning that you are properly rated. And Big Luther. Shout out to 81. I know some people don't like 81, but shout out to 81 for Big Luther and for me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna talk about it no more. We're gonna move along to my next person on the list over here. Alrighty. Now we got through that offensive weapon there. We're going to get to what I say is Colston Loveland. Can Colston Loveland be one of the best young tight ends in football? Because yes, in Ben's scheme, tight end matters. And I mean like really matters. So if Loveland is to click in the system and give you any glimpse of what he gave you last year, I think he is the absolute catalyst and what do you call a disaster waiting to happen against opposing defenses, if you will, or a nightmare for them to be better articulated, because he gonna cause problems unlike anybody else. And so the question is, just like we did for Lufa, we ain't got Lufa scrubbed up and got him moved on to the category he stands in, which is first class, i.e. properly rated. Colston Loveland, is he a return to sender, meaning he's overrated? Is he a special delivery, meaning he's underrated? Or is he a first class piece of mail, meaning he is properly rated? Let me know, and we're going to go ahead and put a poll up for Colston Loveland. It's Colston Loveland. Special delivery. Return. Boom. Boom. All right, the poll is up. Hey, he said top 10. So hey, you know what? I think you voted on the video before T Miles on the Colston Loveland video, because indeed, like you said, I'm putting them top 5 because I'm gonna say you got McBride, Bowers, until proven otherwise. I still give Kittle his deference out there. Kelsey gets some namesake, but I don't know if you're gonna produce like a top 5 this year. And then I'm starting to scratch for names. Tyler Warren might keep on moving, but we trying to figure out Colston Loveland, overrated, underrated, properly rated. Let me know in the chat, because we kind of getting through this segment right here when we talk about the segment that's going, because I think the next one's gonna get us home. Next one gonna get us home out here when we talk about some things. And I think, let me see, just because interest of time, because I know everybody got things to do today. We got a vote for special delivery on Colston. If we got no other votes, in the next 30 seconds, we will close down the poll. We got some properly ratings. Okay. So we're going to end in a tie. And as usual, I got to be the one. Break a tie. So I'm going to type what I have to. And it may be somebody else that comes in with a swoop and vote. But as of now, I'm going to type his name out. And you're going to see where it shows up. You're going to know what I think. You dig? Chat. It's so crazy we did that. Because we in the poll, 3 votes. And this is what we got going on. When I reveal, what did I have him at? Boom. Special delivery, coasting, motherfucking Loveland. Hey, mate. Had your boy down here as a special delivery because I don't think I've heard enough about coasting. I've heard far more about Luther. And I believe it's because either they believe coasting has arrived already and they don't want to even speculate that he would do any regressing. Or it's that he's a tight end. And tight ends are not so glamorous that people even care to go ahead and give them their just due when it comes to the provision of what they do for the offense. So I think he's kind of like an afterthought more so than anything else. Is like, yeah, but we really don't count the tight end. Like, we know being using, but like, so what if being used in the tight end? They really don't mean too much to him. And, you know, I would think, and how can I put it? Who is the next person that we should most talk about? Because we have talked about 2 people on the offense. And what I want to know is, we got a first round draft pick as a defensive rookie this year. And we got a 4th rounder. And between the 2, I choose neither to talk about. Because we're going to talk about somebody whose name I've heard quite a bit in this offseason cycle, from rookie minicamp up until last minicamp. And while I heard a lot about Jaden Lovin, I heard a bit more about this guy. And now I see a photo shoot with this particular guy. So I ask of you, Jordan Vandenberg. Talk to me about Jordan Vandenberg, the 6th round selection, defensive tackle, I believe he is. And they think that Jordan will make a world of noise for the team. Jordan Vandenberg, is he what we classify as a return to sender? Overrated? Is he a first class male recipient, i.e., properly rated? Or is he a special delivery candidate, meaning he is underrated? When we talk about a guy like Jordan Vandenberg, haven't seen him play yet. We've heard a lot about his relative athletic score. We've seen a few shorts footage when it comes to training camp, mini camps. What do we think of a guy who's not touched the field yet and a Jordan Vandenberg? So I will put up a poll. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a vote on one Jordan Vandenberg. Hmm. You don't remember choking on candy, man. You hell for that. He ain't Caden McDonald. Now, hey, look. Entertain me in the world. What would he have to do? Like, I don't know that you had a particular expectation of Caden as far as numbers go. But what could he do to kind of give you buyer's remorse on that statement? Like last year, Kyle Monunga was a 7th rounder, and people would have said he ain't no Travion Henderson. But in fact, last year he was. He's a little better. So what would Jordan have to do to be respected like a Caden McDonald this year for you? What will be the metric? Let me know. I'm curious to understand that. And that's a good way to break it out because it gives us a nice comparison to kind of figure out what we think of players on a given platform or wavelength based on name. Because I like it. He said he ain't Caden McDonald. I can get it. So, is it safe to assume that for a late round rookie, anytime people talk about you before you play, you overrate it? Oh no, yeah, let me know. We got one vote. One vote in the chat. And 3 options, one vote. The jury's out on Jordan Vandenberg. And I don't want the jury to be impartial. Meaning at least if we got 2 people's opinions about it, we can figure out how things work for us. If we don't, kind of scary. I dig it. I dig it. You say make with the opportunities he get, make wild plays. Broski, shout out to you, man. We're gonna have to get Broski in the Discord so he can drop us some of them thoughts some days. Right now, we got a mailbox sorting machine going on, Broski. And the question is for Jordan Vandenberg, will he be a return to sender candidate, i.e., overrated, a first class mail recipient, i.e., properly rated, or will he be a special delivery and being an underrated player this year? We got 3 votes. Anytime we have a tie, I will be the tiebreaker. We got, in case nobody did know, we got a recap here. We have, yeah. Hey, let me tell y'all something. If T Miles your teacher, because T Miles give me the teacher vibe. If he your teacher, you better bring it or you ain't passing, bro. You better bring it or you not passing. And we talk about the machine over here, broski. We got Coastal and Leveling being a special delivery, i.e. underrated. We got Luther Burden being first class male, properly rated. I was a tiebreaker there because I think that the coach tells us to have as much expectation as we did before he stamped it. So I don't think he's overrated. And we got 3 people that vote for overrated, properly rated, and underrated for one young Jordan Vandenberg. So we'll give about 30 seconds to see if I can get one deciding vote in the chat. And if we do not, your boy will make that vote to find out exactly where we think Jordan Vandenberg will be in the mailbox sorting machine when it comes to his performance for the regular season. While we look at that, broski, I will take you back real fast. Coast is not overrated, sir. I don't know where you got that from. And broski. So this is how we got our Prove It power rankings from last segment. We got Jalen Johnson being number 1 on the Prove It list. Roma Dunze, number 2 on the Prove It list. Number 3, Tyreek Stevenson. Number 4, Logan Jones. And number 5, Montez Sweat, with honorable mention going to Caleb Williams. That is our Prove It power rankings. Those guys got something to prove, and we got something to prove in that order, in the voting public's interest. Go back later if you will, make your votes. Coasting overrated, Cody says so. G Honda. G Honda. We'll know. So we had a vote off on those two. We had a vote on those two for that reason right there. I think most people, not me, they want to see that he can give you consistency again. But I think, like you said, that would be the interchange for me, or I would omit them all together and leave it to Caleb. But that's exactly pretty good list that we came up with right there. And now where we at right now is the last person, which is the poll that we better check out. Make sure that G Honda vote on the poll out here for Jordan Vandenberg. I don't know, you don't probably know a lot about football, no way, G Honda, but go ahead and vote on the poll so I don't gotta make a vote. G. Special delivery, first class, or return to sender for Jordan Vandenberg. Let me know. He got a lot of damn initials in his name. JVDB. The knock-kneed giraffe. Make sure everybody who came in hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you are new. Anybody who want to donate to the stream, I don't know why words are so hard to come by today. Feel free to hit the super chat, the cash apps, join the memberships today for the nominal low price of. You'll see it when you press it. But if we will, I got about 15 seconds and I'll make the vote myself in the interest of time to move it along. Special delivery, first class, or return to sender vote on one Jordan Vandenberg. And while we are doing so, I will get us a screensaver. And now we will get to putting his name out. Mm-mm. 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 Mm. Mm. And let me see. Does the poll change? No, the poll has not changed. So I will have to be influential in this poll and how I decide for a young Jordan Vandenberg. Vandenberg. So we will end the poll there. Vandenberg will absolutely. We got it. We got it all together. And now my vote. My vote for this guy. This gentleman is gonna pop up. Where do y'all think I got the vote? We got 3 votes out there, and I'm the 4th. And where do you think I voted to put him? Drum roll, please. I ain't got one for you. Put him in the special delivery category. Underrated. Underrated because I believe that this young man will give a run for your money when it comes to some of the comparisons of his motor, his understanding of the system so far, and his relentlessness when it comes to performance in these mini camp sessions thus far. I believe that he will be a very relevant portion to the offense. I mean, the defensive line when we talk about those waves of people that can be of service. And I think that he is one of those guys that is going to be able to seriously take advantage of his lesser notoriety and become an absolute thorn in the side of many offensive linemen throughout the course of the year, just to make you know make a stink when people don't think it will be one to be made. I think he instantaneously, because of the way in which he'll be deployed, I think it'll give him an opportunity to do things uh in not a clandestine way, but a real behind the scenes or under the radar type of impact that he'll have. And Broski said, write it down in the zone. So, and all the rest of you, Vandenberg gonna have a better career than your high round pick Caleb Banks from Florida. Write that down. Nonetheless, we move to our next and final segment of the stream. And that segment is, people, that segment is we're gonna create the perfect offense. We're gonna create what I classify as the perfect offense out here. Now, the perfect offense is going to consist of a receiving leader. Our perfect offense will consist of a touchdown leader. The biggest breakout player, future delivery, the rookie category of our segment, G Honda. So you can get all of the LSU love out that you want. And also, we're going to have to understand who's a disappointment so that we can see how we get them out of the offense. So let me get my face together. Don't know what's going on. A little oily. Sorry. And we get to the perfect offense. We filling 5 mailboxes tonight, and based on what you guys say, um, we're gonna be able to fill those boxes. So first off, I would like to think we can make it non-poll persistent. But if you had to put a name, I want you to put a name in the chat. Who will finish this year with the most receiving yards on the team? Not receptions, nothing else. Strictly receiving yards. Who will finish this year as the number one reception? I mean yards total person for the season. Who gonna end up with the most yards out here with us? Somebody drop that in the chat. Could it be Rome? Could it be Luther? Could it be Colston? Could it be somebody else? Drop what you think when we filling up these mailboxes one at a time, and this is the first one. Most yards, i.e., receiving leader. Who is going to lead the team in receiving? Drop those names for you, boy. I already knew where T Miles was going. I should have anyway. We got one vote out here for an Adunze. Anybody disagree with Rome? Roast Beef said Colson gonna have the most. The most yards for a tight end. Boy, if your tight end got the most yards for you every year, you shooting bad. But I like it. Now, Roast Beef, how many yards you think Colston can have this year if you think he'll be the number one? How many yards you think he can have? Man, let me see. Hold on. Most receiving yards for a tight end in a season. Okay, so Travis Kelce had 1,416 yards before. 1,377 by George Kittle. Mark Andrews, 1,361. And Travis Kelce rounds it out again with 1,336. So 1,350 has been done 4 times by a tight end, or 3 times, I should say. It's a lofty goal, but it can happen. So we got a poll we got to put out, I guess. Hey, T Miles, I agree. I think it's possible. I think it's possible. I also think it'll be Rome at least the team in receptions. I mean, in receiving yards this year. Not by. I don't know if he had 1,300, but I think he'll lead the team. He's gonna have at least 1,100 yards this year. Hosted by a landslide. Oh brother. Okay. Okay. See votes going. Who will lead the team in receiving yards? I'm trying to figure it out so we can put their name on the mailbox. Mm, mm, between Luther and Colston right now, they both pretty sticky. They both pretty sticky out there. Between them two, if you ask me. Look like I might have to be. I'm gonna keep. They're gonna keep asking for my input. I don't want to give it. We are insistent upon me being the guy that has to break these ties, if you will. But in the interest of time, I want to keep things pushing along because I do not want to uh, drag anything out. But right now, we got 4 votes. We are 50-50. And I am the deciding vote. Yes, in my estimation, um, you really have to question your offense if your tight end is the leader, because I believe that means you won't have any wide receivers. If he's the leading receiver on your team, because you have inferior weapons, I don't believe that the guys on the outsides are inferior. So in that particular instance, G Willikers. In that instance, G Willikers, we will go ahead. Let me see, do we got one? I think we got one, and if we got one, I'm gonna use that as opposed to any what do you call it? Instead of using a name this time, we'll spice it, we'll jazz it up perhaps. Yeah, Jimmy Graham. But again, when Jimmy Graham was your best receiver, you didn't have no other receivers on the team. When your tight end is your best, the year they won, Jimmy wasn't their best receiver. That's when they had Colston and Marcus Colston and somebody else was out there doing a whole big one. And when you're doing your big one like that, nobody gonna really be like, "Oh, you messed up." It's you cool? Is you cool? What they gonna say? And if we will, I think we got it. I think we got it, y'all. This is how we gonna. I think we can do it this way. Don't blame me if we can't, but I think we can. So let me know if this is gonna be appropriate for us. Bam! Perfect offense for our receiving leader. One Romeo Devery Henderson. Look at him. And you had Sean, and then you had an offensive mind out there. Their offense was never like super intimidating numbers about the explosion. Maybe you might know better than me. But our receiving leader for this exercise is gonna be none other than Rome Odunze. So book it in this chat. Based on my vote, we have made Rome the receiving leader for the year. Let's make sure we keep that envelope sealed, and until such a time it's time to open it and see if we deliver. Exactly. Yes, we will. That's why I say it's the numbers. The numbers are going to be very close. Like I believe all of them have 1,000-yard potential in them. I think Colson may have a smidge under that. He may be 800 or 9 or something like that. But I don't want to get down the weeds with the actual predictions right now, except for predicting who is going to lead the team in touchdowns this year. Who will be the guys that leads the team in reservations for 6? Who will get to the end zone? This is not just receivers. This is anybody on the team that is an offensive weapon that you believe will lead the team in scoring opportunities. Who will be that guy? Who is going to score the most, not passing touchdowns? You like that E in his name, don't you? You like to throw that E in there, don't you, Roasty? I want to get larger. Oh, Broski Bear went running back. I like it. A running back. Do I believe that? Can I get a double digit touchdown pass catcher? Can I get a pass catcher with double digit touchdowns? Because I believe Broski is saying that we will have a running back because they're gonna get at least double digits between their receiving and rushing touchdowns. Can we finally get into having a guy catch 10 touchdowns in a year? Swift and None guy is Broski's idea. So we're gonna put them on the list. Boo-doo. There we go. So there we go. We got he said Romy got the 14 out there. That's crazy. So we got a poll up. I believe we put up 4 players and the other. I think we seen some people in the chat. Give us the other as far as who they think the other will be. Let me know what you guys got going on right there. Weigh in on the poll. Who will lead the team in touchdowns as we put together our perfect offense right now? Everybody go ahead and get in on that poll. Swift led us with 10 last year. Give me Cousins with the Creative Test Lab has to enter. My brother, happy Father's Day to you, man. Figured you was busy, but you already know the Discord is ready for you if you're ready to get in where you fit in and weigh in on this last segment. We we had a most to prove segment. We are building the perfect offense right now, and we just finished with our overrated, underrated, perfectly rated segment, which we're going to do a review on every single one of them. So sit back if you will. Otherwise, let me know when we're in that good old Discord if you want to be there. And as y'all see, if y'all want to support a growing streamer, i.e., a content creator, cash apps are appreciated. Super chats are always welcome. And you can get your own members only jacket and then join the membership with your boy. Merchandise available. Happy Father's Day to you. Get your lunch bag, get your thermal cup, get your shirt. You might come up with something that I don't have yet that we want to get out there. But go ahead, let's get this poll finished up. Who will soldier in Soldier Field? Everyone will. As long as you wear the uniform of the bear. You understand that? Janarius Honda? Let's not get wrapped up into you. We got a few more people to vote on this poll before I go ahead and issue out. We've already voted in our receiving leader, by the way. Roma Dunze has been voted top receiver in terms of receiving yards this season. We got other going on in the poll right now. I didn't realize I put only 3 options up, so my deepest apologies. But with other going out, I will go through the chat. I will look at the names of the other person, and we will see who those others will be. So we're going to look at this right here. 5 votes. Broski says Swift or Monungai. We got a Colston vote, and we got a Rome vote. So we got 3 guys. We got 4 guys. Luther being the 4th. Touchdown leaders for me. We're gonna hit the screensaver on you, and when we come back on my vote, we will see who will lead the team in what we call touchdowns this year. Who do y'all think it's gonna be? Who do y'all think it's gonna be? Touchdown leader. You know, I can only remember ever being like this one time, but we didn't have the offensive mind in totality because I don't believe that Trestman was a coach. He was a coordinator that had opportunities to be great, but the talent, I do believe, is on a different level. I love Martellus Bennett. Alshon and Brandon were sensational. Forte was unbelievable. I think the difference in that is because of Jay and Caleb, and that's what it is. I think that's a difference. So when we go back to reveal who will be the award winner for most touchdowns on the team this season, the award goes to Colston Coleslaw Loveland. Don't eat your mama coleslaw on a Tuesday. I picked him exactly for the reasons in which we just had right there. He say wrong gonna fuck around, have about 10 of them. If he can stay healthy, he might, man, for real. But I instantly can see the red zone opportunities being there so much because of the run game being so heavily influenced in the game. I can instantly see where the tight ends load up and take away touchdown opportunities per se from the wide receivers. But Colston is the guy that I see benefiting the most from red zone, the way in which he is able to be a wide receiver in the tight end's body. He has the hip fluidity of a wide receiver. He has the body mass of a tight end. He's bulked up this year. And I think he takes the next step in learning how to use his physical tools to shield himself against smaller defensive backs and so on and so forth. So I see that happening in a major way. 24 is a breakout. And it's crazy. It's crazy what one season does to you because Rome missed last year. He missed games last year because of a broken foot. And now we talk about him like he's injury prone. But I get it. 24. Am I missing somebody on offense that wears 24? So let me know. Maybe not coming to me right now. 25 I got from a nun guy. I got an 84. I got a 10. 15 at 81. Somebody said in one of my posts earlier that Xavier should change his number from 81. Yeah, that's true right there, T Miles. That is true. You did have 5 and 4 weeks last year. I think when you got knowledge of the playbook and you got an opportunity to go ahead and get in there and get the mix going. Oh yeah, okay. Threw me off, Keith. Yeah, hey, no. So this next category here is for the biggest breakout. Yeah, different don't mean effective or ineffective to me, broski. Like if I break my hand, it won't ever be the same. That don't mean I can't. That don't mean I can't catch. Like um, it may feel different to me. Like I may not walk on it the same way and everything else, but like Yeah, for and I think and do you also think that something like that can be used as a trick? Maybe I'm overplaying it. I know what you're saying, the push off and everything like that. How you gonna do some things? As long as it healed properly, I'm okay with it. Like not being the same means like, yeah, okay, so I gotta push off a different way. Or yeah, or make an adjustment to the thing. So yes, it will be different. I think I don't know if that difference will result in difficulty, if that makes sense. But I can see where the reservation or the doubt could come in to hope that he can be, all the way. And well, he didn't say it healed him properly at all. He said the scarring tissue around it and everything was a bit more callous than expected. Um, but that's not uncommon or atypical. It's just the callousing around it. But like you said, we're gonna get to find out if it's a ploy, if it will be a hindrance, or if it will be something that he just has to operate differently in. That's one of the things we're gonna get to find out this season as well. Because I don't believe he's had one of these either. So I think Rome could be counted in this category as well. Yeah, that's right, broski. Yeah, totally agree. Got to be able to figure that one out right there. And I'm anxious to see how he does it because maybe he's already come up with these methods, maybe not. But OTAs and everything as far as your catches would say that you're doing something right right now, but we're gonna find out. Right now though, we want to find out who's gonna have the biggest breakout. So the biggest breakout, I think, is like not who's the best player. Uh well, who takes the biggest leap this year? Like who's gonna take the biggest jump from he okay to yeah, that dude is he one of them ones. He nice. Like last year, and the example is loose for us, but last year when we got a seventh round running back in Kyle Monungai, the first thing that was said was it doesn't wow you, nothing to write home about, probably won't make a difference. But towards the season's end, Kyle gave us that breakout where we was like, wait a minute, you might actually be a decent running back. Maybe not a world beater. You may be somebody we had to keep our eyes out on, or at least kind of be game plan for. So, who is going to be the person that will take the biggest leap? Kiso said Caleb takes the biggest leap. And if Caleb does take the biggest leap, the whole team absolutely does. If Caleb is the person that uh, goes from talented to upper echelon quarterback, yes, he could. That's an answer right there that would be totally acceptable. Logan Jones being the biggest breakout, um, or would Logan fit more into uh the future delivery award? Burden, suddenly burden. So we think a volume of targets gonna have people going up. We got some Luther. Okay. And Kiso, in so many ways, bro, I really believe that something like that is really about to happen for us. It's all a culmination of understanding how the line uh quickly acclimates themselves to one another and to him because we do have two new bodies that'll be out there. One of them could be Logan, to start or not. But it's gonna be two new guys out there on that line. I want to make sure that they totally immerse themselves in being able to protect Caleb the way they need to this year because in order for him to take that leap, he has to have ultimate confidence in that line with no chinks for him to be able to totally learn how to dink, dunk, dissect, bomb, and do everything that he needs to do within the context of the offense. But I can truly see something like that. Um, Uh, T Miles just took another person from me. We talk about a 94 out there. So what we gonna do? Is what we're gonna do. Biggest breakout. We gonna have to pull it up. Burden. Uh, Caleb. Um, Bookers. Mm-hmm. So there we go. Those are the choices we got. I put 4 of them up for us. Who will take the biggest leap this season? Put your vote in the chat. Once we get that going, we're going to shut it down over here and you will see the picture of our choice pop up on the screen. Yeah, for the breakout player, we including everything. We can pull out all the stops we can right here on this particular for the breakout because this guy can pretty much, you know, be the catalyst for the reason the defense is actually going to be something. And Kiso, while we waiting on the vote over there, middle of the pack, um, middle of the pack in terms of the team, because middle of the pack as far as the team means you got like a 9-win team or something like that. Oh, you mean that? So you think that I think we were ranked top 6 last year. You think our line goes from top 6 to 16? I'm gonna have to disagree with that one, Kiso. Y'all let me know why we going to got the vote going on. Does the offensive line take this massive step back? Because middle of the pack from being a top 10 unit last year is a drastic step back. Do we regress from top 10 to middle of the pack? Y'all let me know. I totally don't expect it. I expect them to be better this year, actually. We got some sleepers out there, Kiso. I like the conversation, man. I appreciate the chat, the feedback that you got going on, everything about the vibe, man. It's always nice to have different opinions about everything. Okay, all right. I won't, rife with you too much about that one right there. If we can stay at 10, we can stay at 10. A top 10 unit is top 10. Let's hover. We'll shake on it. There we go. And the center position, I think, is so solidified for real. I'm confident in the choice that they made with drafting Logan, and I'm also confident that they had their ducks in a row when they traded for Bradbury, just to understand that they had some things going on, and the disrespect for Braxton is always there. I can't believe you, man. Braxton got a little weight on him this year, man. He gonna stop getting pushed to the backfield, man. He gained like 17 pounds or something. I'm lying. I'm making it up, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. Let's look at the board and see what we got going on. And that's weird. Now, to know that we had votes for Luther in the actual chat, but now I got no votes for Luther. That's was y'all over there gassing up Luther? We're gonna have about, I'll say, 30 more seconds to get everybody vote. We only got 3 votes on the poll, so that's you know, I would hope we have more votes than 3 on the poll. Let's just say that we won't get too far on it, because the next 2 boxes are gonna take us home. They're gonna take us home out here. Mm-hmm. Let me know what we got going on here. I'm gonna see what the poll says, because the show must go on, and we got a 3-way tie. 3 people I didn't think, but we're gonna end the poll right here, or at least while I put up my wonderful blinder screen. We're gonna get the screensaver up, and when I come back, we will have a name for the biggest breakout player, and it won't be Backfield Braxton. He said Backfield Braxton Jones. Go, Backfield Braxton. Go, Backfield Braxton. You in the backfield, call him Braxton. Boom. Oh, I used to watch Power Rangers when I was a kid, y'all. It got total little ditty bops stuck in my head. What can I say? You can judge me if you'd like. It probably won't do you any good. Because we gotta make sure we get the right. We gotta make sure we get the right stuff out here, bro. We can't just come back with anything in the interest of being 100, getting the things together we need. So we got a lot of stuff to comb through sometimes. I won't lie to you. We won't joke around with you. And who's gonna be our biggest breakout player of the year? Drum roll, please. No, we don't need one. And this is who we got, broski. We got the defensive guy out here. We got a defensive guy, I believe. And that defensive guy is none other than Austin Booker. Hey, Lou's still gonna be decent, barring injury from anybody. People take injuries out of the game. And see, I'm glad you brought that up right there, Kiso. But people take injuries out of the game, and they also take the fact that we missed the most amount of games to injury on defense last year in the league. So while people don't pay attention to injury much, we as a fan base didn't pay attention to it as much last year because we were winning. But also realize that I would give more of a boon to us being more healthy this year than less healthy. I.e., I don't see any injuries that are going to be so catastrophic on either side of the ball that will make us fall in any way, shape, or form in the standings. In fact, I see us being healthier on the whole when it comes to even more of the team, as in totality. So yes, people forget about injury, but I don't forget about it. I just kind of expect it to happen to other people's teams, not mine. We try to do it that way. But if we can, let's move it along. We're gonna get a poll going straight from the jump. And this is what I want to know, because we are voting on our Future Delivery Award. And the Future Delivery Award is based on all rookie progression and who's going to be the guy that is the deliverer of the future for us. So we're going to put up names real quick. It's going to be our Bears Rookie of the Year. So you're going to see the Broy, the Broy. That's how we're going to put that, because that guy's going to be here for years to come. Bounce, 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 bounce. Now we get right into it. Those are the 4 players that I got going out here for us. When we talk about injury, I mean best future delivery for a rookie: Xavier Thomas, Roush, and I'll have to let me see if I can get out here. If you want to, also in the chat, if you want to write Dylan Thieneman's name in, you can have him as a write in. I totally forgot about the first round rookie because I expect him to make a difference. So I asked about these players for a reason. I don't think I'm going to be a breakout star because I expect your delivery. But y'all let me know who we gonna look for. The rooks. Can we find the rooks? Y'all let me know with that poll right there as we try to do this somewhat expeditiously. Hey, and like I told you, if I see more Thieneman type ins than I see actual votes on the poll, then I will know that Thieneman is the choice for us right there. So if Thieneman is who we perceive to be the creme de la creme, got no problem. Y'all let me know that right there. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Boom. Mm-hmm. Gotta make sure we got the news you guys can use out here. Mm-mm-mm. Trying to make sure we got a nice little, you dig for area. I don't want to leave nobody out in case they are selections that I don't think gonna be selections. We don't want to be out here with nothing for them. But right now, we got a 3-way tie, 3 votes. We will hope we can get somebody else in on the poll over here. If not, I got to be the deciding factor here. Do I want to be? I don't want to be. But again, as I stated, if I do not see a different amount of what do you call votes, I see two names for two people for Thieneman in the chat. If you guys, okay, so now we run into me making a tie, and my tie. Everybody, are we ready for the tie breaker? And who I think will be the proverbial breakout player for us this year? That player will be none other than drum rolls not needed, because we're gonna have none other than this guy right here. And this guy is the rookie breakout for me. Who is he gonna be? The guy T Miles voted for. Everybody, Xavier Thomas is gonna be my breakout player or best future delivery. And I say it because of this. We talk about draft rank. We talk about controversy. This guy has been scrutinized as being a reach, overdrafted, so on and so forth. Of everybody that's been on the team right now, he's the only one who got any draft criticism. I'm anxious to see the way in which this weapon is deployed by Ben Johnson, and I think it's going to be something that gives us like great joy moving forward. With that being said, we got to have a little bit of drawback when we talk about this here. So, if we could, in the chat, I want you to type out the name of the person that you think will be the biggest disappointment on the Bears roster this year. Who will not meet expectation on the Bears roster this season? Who is it that you think will not? Who will be the guy that won't make it? Will it be a Tyreek Stevenson? Will it be one of the running backs? Will it be Roma Dunze never reaching full potential? Will it be that the center has never gotten to take over? Good one, broski. Can Kyler stay healthy and enter the fray? Because he is the lone wolf when it comes to injury. That is a good one, broski bear, right there. Y'all let me know something different. If y'all want to tell me something different than broski, I'm going with broski right there. As who can be who could be the biggest disappointment. So I think I'm gonna have to make it a poll. I had to put 4 names up there, but I got no doubts that Montez Sweat won't be on my disappointment list this year. Not worried about that whatsoever. That won't be on my disappointment list this year. I don't believe, but I do want to know because Kyler brought my attention out. It got my attention when he said Kyler. Because if you don't stay healthy, you could be the biggest disappointment. Because the defense plays exponentially better when Kyler is on the field. No two ways about that. Alrighty. Jamar could be the biggest disappointment. So let me tell you this then. If you vote for Sweat, I'm gonna use that as Shamar Turner. If you vote for Sweaty, I'm gonna use that as Shamar Turner out there. got something to prove. Cause Spider-Man and the other guy probably get the most. If you ask me, you kind of got me thinking. Got me to thinking. Hey, look, last year, one of my co-hosts, I got nothing but content of Sweat and Swift were in his doghouse all year. I don't. Hey, everybody gonna have their thoughts about him. I'm cool. I think I get my money's worth out of him. I know what he is. He don't let me down. Like no day of the week am I out here like, damn, Montez didn't do enough for me. Montez does just what I expect. Give me about 9 or 10 sacks is what I expect out of him because you ain't never been a 12, 13 sack guy. And they paid for the trade. Cost of doing business, I think. But we're going to look at this right now and see who we got. And who can be my biggest disappointment. And I guess this is how we're gonna have to get to the biggest disappointment out here. And while I want it to be a guy like Kyler so much, because it's so easy to pile on Kyler and tell you that he deserves to win this award right here, as far as the biggest disappointment, because he got some skin in the game. Yeah, that's all he ever gonna be. It's just above average, and he is what he is. But this guy right here, while everybody else can talk about money being paid to people who stay hurt and this, that, and the third, and yes, I agree. Kyler needs to stay healthy because he has been paid like a guy that should be able to stay healthy. Well, that's not the reason they say the Bears don't have a pass rush. If he was good by himself, still like he is, they still say the team on the whole, the team had 33 sacks. So if the team had more than 33, they wouldn't talk about Sweat. Unfortunately, because he's the only person who produces, they're gonna associate it with you first. But I don't think Sweat got a lot of hate last year from many people. I think that's a different type of expectation by certain people who don't like him. But I think he did everything he needed to do last year, and I don't think they really said we was weak because of him. I think we had some work to do. But speaking of have work to do, this is the guy who got some work to do. Y'all ready? Dayo Adangbo is going to win my biggest disappointment or potential for biggest disappointment award, and this is why. You're going to get $18 million this year, and while Kyler Gordon is going to get money too, Kyler has proven to me that he deserves his money by his play on the field at one point in his career. Dayo has not proven anything throughout the course of his career. It's only been on promise and potential and misuse based on a scheme. Last year, I'll give you that. This year, you are back in camp and ready to go. You have the ultimate biggest chance to do that because if you duplicate last year, we got 2 years of wasted money that we got not even our money's worth out of you because I'm not expecting exponential things from this guy. I'm expecting baseline. Let me hear your name a few times and you earned a paycheck because people at least got a few stats out of you while you were in the Bears uniform. That has not happened as of yet. And so for the meantime in between time, although Shamar has not played, when Shamar did make the switch from defensive end, from defensive tackle, certain metrics did go up and make a movement on the needle. And so to me, that indicates that he does have potential. Dayo, the Vikings game in week 1 was the last time you had anything going on. So, yes. And see, that's crazy, broski. We just got to talking about how Sweat getting overly criticized. Rome missed games last year for a broke foot. How is he soft? Not fragile. He don't miss games for tissue injuries. He missed 5 games in his whole career. I know it's only been 2 seasons, but that's because of a broken foot last year. He played through that foot, which is how he broke it last year. Because it was at first it was just a fracture. Then he actually broke it, continuing to play on it. So like for me to put Rome in the soft category, or often injured or anything, I can't do it because 5 games out of 2 seasons does not make you injury prone or soft or anything. But Kyler Gordon, we can definitely say that because he has played less games in his 5-year career right now than he has not. He has missed more games in most seasons than he's played. And that is concerning because they gave him money already. But Rome missed 5 games total. I really can't put him in the Washington category, nothing else just yet. I got to let it play out. Now, this year, if you give me another injury plague year or you never recover, we can bring it back up, I guess. But for the meantime, in between time, the perfect offense that we built based on what we think will happen this year is when Rome is our leading receiver, Colston is our leading touchdown grabber. Biggest breakout is going to come from Austin Booker. The biggest rookie breakout will come from Xavier Thomas and how he was utilized. And if we had to have one, the biggest disappointment could come from none other than someone who has already disappointed in a Dayo or Dangbo. So, with that being said, guys, we take us to the final segment of the game here. Most approved. Our number one most approved guy was none other than Jalen Johnson, people. So Jalen Johnson was our biggest guy to prove something for us. Okay, so let's go ahead. And I got to do it for you one more time. I got to give you my vaunted screensaver. Twitter is serviceable. That's all I can. Hey, I'm sorry to tell you, 10 sacks is serviceable, and a lot of people get that. A lot of people don't get walk away with 10 and a half sacks in a season, so that's above service. Braxton Jones is serviceable. Montez is more than serviceable, but I won't get wrapped up into the weeds of such a thing right now. Because the person with the most approved, we got to get him out here. And who is that guy? Who's the guy that got the most approved on the team? It's one of the guys that make all the damn green. Jalen Johnson, number 1, you the cornerback of the future. Or we don't know, we might have to shoot you in the cannon off into space and get a damn new one. Tyreek, you can go because we got one for you too, bruh. Oh, let's see. Most approved, young Jalen, who ain't so young. He kind of old these days. And there we go. We got one of them for you. Give me a minute as we continue to comprise. Biggest breakout will happen by none other than this guy, Austin Booker. Austin, we trying to get you out here, Austin. I want Austin to have a good pitch out here when he walk up to get his award. I want him to look like something when he get his award, y'all. So pardon me for giving him the best he got. Cause we gonna have to get them together, y'all. That's what I want. So give me a minute as we get our graphics together, as we give these awards out and wrap up the show. Everybody got to be out here. Future delivery. Who was that? Who was the guy who won future delivery for us? None other than the rookie Xavier Too Tall Thomas. Even though he really just too fast. There we go for this guy. What we got for most? Who most underrated? Who do we have the most underrated out here? I believe Colston was our most underrated guy as well. Because Colston don't get enough love right now, if you ask me. And who was our guy that we had being overrated? Who did we vote on the most overrated player? Who's our most overrated player right now, people? If we had to vote on somebody being overrated on the team right now, who is being overrated right now? Anybody? First name I see in the chat is who we gonna roll with for that exercise. Because I don't want to get caught up in the weeds as we wrap up. Who would be the guy that we would say most overrated? I think T Miles would be like a Sweat or somebody. Is Shamar Turner being overrated, based on expectation he haven't played yet? And for the exercise, I'm gonna nominate. I'm gonna nominate Shamar as being overrated right now because even I have an expectation of him to come in and perform like the second round picks that joined him last year, but that is not feasible or reasonable for me to totally expect it. I knew he was gonna say it was Sweat. Let me see if we got a sweaty boy out here. If we got a sweat pick, just for you. I can't believe I'm doing this. I ain't finding him, T. I have the 3 years of evidence that he overrated. Nobody has overrated him. Nobody said he was elite. No year has he ever been called elite. What was supposed to be his rating? What was he supposed to be when he came in and make him overrated? I'm curious. Maybe I don't know where he was supposed to be rated. I knew he was supposed to be a good player, and he has been a good player. I didn't know. I didn't know he had some expectation of double-digit sacks every year and like Pro Bowl nods. Let me know. I ain't even fighting you, I guess, about this one right now. I just want to know, kind of unclear to your boy. And it's looking like if I don't got him, he ain't been. No, it's not. 8 to 10 sacks a season. It ain't like he got 10 sacks total. If he had only 10 sacks total, then yes. But his money properly rated, and it was right then. I'm finished. It was right then. I'm stopping. Who's gonna have an offensive MVP? I already know who I think gonna be my offensive MVP. Let me give y'all a couple little look-ins into some of my insight here. Who gonna be the best of the best? This might shock you. Let me see. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, this is gonna shock y'all right here. Who I got for my offensive MVP on the season? Defensive MVP. Who would be the person that stands out the most for us on defense this year? That's gonna make us have our eyes opened, y'all. Who gonna open our eyes on defense? Who gonna be the person to make us think? Wow, I underrated that guy. Do we got him? Do we have that guy on our roster? The defensive guy that'll make us think we overlooked him. No fluff. Probably not coming to me right now, but this what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put him out here for us just for a little controversy because he gonna shock the world. We just had a conversation about him, and many people doubt it, but I think he got it in him. I think the potential is there for this guy to be your defensive MVP. Just when we've been giving out a lot of hate. And who will be our Postal Gang favorite by the end of the year? I already know who the favorite could be, should be, and might just stay because he seemed to be everybody's darling as we speak of him right now. Dayo ain't got 8 sacks. Dayo don't got 8 sacks career, making $18 million. Dayo got 1 sack, getting paid $18 million. 1 sack, $18 million. Nula, no pat. Pancake, no syrup. That's what we got from Dayo right now. We got no pack on the Nula from that guy. If we talking about disappointment, it is that guy. He ain't gave us not a nan. I don't get it. And he making a couple dollars out here. He hurt my feelings, bro. We talk about bread. He out there need to get it together. And look, this how we gonna get this done right here, y'all. Because I think this should be the way in which we end the award show for us all out here. Screensaver off. And this is how our first annual Postman Awards will shake out, everybody. We have most to prove. The award goes to Jalen Johnson. Biggest breakout. The season we expect a leap to take goes to Austin Booker. And we expect you to outshine a lot of people. Future Delivery Award goes to the rookie that is going to open the most eyes this year. And while we got so many of them, the third round, last offensive weapon that we picked, Xavier Thomas, will light the world on fire with his future delivery and present when we talk about what's to come in this season. The most underrated of all for the offseason, as much as it may seem like a joke to everybody else, Colston Loveland has not gotten the steam behind him per se because he's a tight end, not a wide receiver, and thus I don't know that I've seen very much talk about him. He is not even in the search engines when we talk about YouTube keywords because I made a video about him, and his video does not get the buzz that the wide receivers gets. Overrated. Shamar Turner, until you step on the field, I have hopes, I have an expectation, I have a preconceived notion about you, but you've not done so yet. And so until that time comes about, the most overrated has to go to that guy. And when we talk about the offensive MVP for me can be none other than the tandem of Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. Why the tandem, you ask? They are simpatico. They are symbiotic in the way in which they think, and they will be unanimously in favor of executing the offense the exact same way. And I believe for that reason, not only is the quarterback the offensive MVP, but by extension, the man in his ear, 98% of the time when the football season comes around, Ben Johnson and him will share co-offensive MVP. In the defensive MVP, he has gotten much speculation for scrutiny. He has gotten much criticism and doubt, but he will stay healthy once the season starts, and the defensive metrics will bear it out. The guy who got paid last on the defense, number 6, Kyler Spider-Man Gordon, will shock us all and become our individual defensive rookie or defensive MVP, I should say, for the season. And yes, Madden made him ridiculous, but he don't get enough love out here, man. I just think he don't, and he will this year when they light the world on fire offensively. And speaking of, the guy who will give us all our fair share of love and not love land, the guy who gonna give us the most happiness on the field, I believe, this year, giving us Darth Vader vibes everywhere, is gonna be none other than Luther Burden. And those, everybody, round out the first annual Postman Awards. If anybody has a difference of opinion when it comes to those right there, write a letter, put a stamp on it, mail it into the post office, or just leave those comments below if you here for the replay gang. I want everybody to get their opinion out, and maybe you got some things that go on that I hadn't thought about myself. But we went through all of those. That was fun, if you ask me. I want to know what you guys thought about that exercise right there. We ranked players. We built the perfect offense, per se. We predicted breakout stars. We sorted through mailbox literature known as the players of being overrated and underrated. And we handed out our first annual Posty Awards. But now, on this Father's Day, it is time for our final delivery. Drop your biggest takeaway from what we did today on stream. What was the one thing that you walk away with most impressed with or most in contemplation of? If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you are new, share the content with a friend. If you enjoyed it and want to have better production moving forward, make sure to donate to the stream via Cash App. You can be a member of the stream and go ahead and hit that join button if you'd like to. You can give us super chats and super stickers to go ahead. And if you want something tangible for your hard-earned money, feel free to log in the Discord. Hit me with a message about merchandise. We got several different things at your disposal. Check the video out for all prices and options, if you will. I want you to know that your donations give me the opportunity to make improvements to the stream, and those will go directly back into making the channel better. With that being said, I want to say again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Enjoy the rest of your day. Plan on what things you can do every day to continue to be a better father. Let's eliminate the concerns in the house that Broski Bear has about the defense. Let's be able to eliminate any doubts that we have that these awards were given out unjustly. And until next time, everybody, and until next delivery, I am the host, Postman 1914. Bear down. Happy Father's Day. We gone.